Subramaniam Swamy has in fact said that he will complain if the air operator's permit was given out to AirAsia. I believe we do have Mr. Swamy joining us. Mr. Swamy, thanks very much for joining us on CNBC TV 18. Your quick reaction, sir. The DGCA, we understand, has now issued the air operator's permit to AirAsia India, paving the way for them to take off.
Well, first of all, the Supreme Court has already held last month that whatever decision the ministry takes is subject to review by the court, and there is an ongoing court case. But what I think is a reckless disregard of the law that today there is an election going on, there's going to be a new government within 10 days, and they have gone ahead with this. It clearly points to the fact that the people in authority have taken a bribe and they have to discharge their obligations. Otherwise, I don't see when even the commander-in-chief of the army can be...
But Mr. Swamy, if I may interrupt you, sir, if I may interrupt you, this matter has been going back and forth, and the clearance approval at the highest level has been given almost a year ago. So this is a matter of routine that these procedures and formalities are being completed by the DGCA. But it's not something that came up, right? It hasn't come up in the last 10 or 15 days.
You are calling it routine, but the fact of the matter is that the question of the Indian ownership, the effective control and substantial ownership question was never decided, and that is a precondition, and it's an illegality, and that illegality will be challenged now because already before the court there's a contempt petition pending before the Director General of the Civil Aviation. I'm surprised you say that everything has been cleared. I don't know with what kind of study you're doing, or are you propagating their case? I'm unable to understand.
I'm not propagating anybody's case, Mr. Swamy.
Then why are you saying that?
I'm not propagating anybody's case. I'm saying that the government has cleared this. The government has cleared this, sir.
Government has cleared it. The government does many illegal things. You know that. The spectrum was also cleared, and the licenses got cancelled. What are you talking about? The government? Government is not the final authority in this matter when they commit an illegality. So therefore, this is a matter which will go back straight to the courts.
All right, Mr. Swamy, we will see what the court has to say. But as far as the developments today are concerned, the air operator's permit has been issued by the DGCA. Kapil Kaul also joins us. Kapil, this was expected. It's been a long wait for AirAsia India, and now the DGCA has given the air operator's permit. So in a sense, it can pretty much take off as soon as it is ready to do so, which I understand could perhaps be end of this month or early next month.
First of all, I'm surprised that they have given an AOP. I was not expecting the AOP, given the fact that the new government is going to take charge. So it's I must confess, it's a very courageous decision on the DG's part, and he needs to be complimented. But uncertainties on their AOP will prevail, as I was hearing Dr. Subramaniam Swamy's comments on that. So I think it might have still some legal play before this finally gets settled. But I think it's a good day for AirAsia India. It's been waiting for almost 15 months. I expected regulatory challenges from the day they announced their proposal, and in line with our expectations, this proposal has got delayed. Though I'm still very skeptical about this AOP position, given the concerns that are in the court and the legal position of Dr. Swamy. But having said that, if the AOP has come, I think, as I said, is a good news. My sense is that they would have already missed this Q1 season, because by the time they start, even if they do, they could start by mid of June or early end of June, which virtually means the end of Q1, which is a peak period. So they would get into Q2, which is really the worst period to start operations, apart from the fact that you will be starting in monsoon. So my sense is that they might be well advised to start around September, October, rather than a rush for
to coincide with the festive season. Just hang in there, Kapil. I'm going to come back to you. Let me get in a quick word from Saroj Datta, the former executive director of Jet Airways. Mr. Datta, it's been a long wait for AirAsia India, almost 15 months waiting for that air operator's permit, and the DGCA has now issued that permit to the company. Your first reactions on what this will actually now mean in terms of kick-starting operations?
Well, I think it's a good thing it has happened. Of course, I don't know the intricacies of what's been happening in Delhi, but But all I can say that it's been a long wait, and what the implications of it in terms of the legal battle is what Kapil has said. We'll have to wait and see, but and the commercial implications of it we'll have to see. But they seem to, AirAsia India seem to be ready because they've got their first aircraft into India. They've got all the other aspects ready, but their sector of operations and their plans, exactly, they haven't specifically announced anything, so we'll have to wait and see when they really start operations. But I think they'll have to start sooner than what Kapil just said, because commercially, yes, there are plans, there are certain implications, but they'll have to. So now that they've got the AOP, they can't wait for too long before they start the operation.
Absolutely. That is the sense that I've been given as well, that they would like to start operations as early as possible. But from a commercial point of view, Mr. Datta, what is it going to mean? You know, the sector continues to bleed in India. We've seen a competitive market, huge discounting at this point in time. AirAsia has made no bones about the fact that they intend to come in with nano pricing. You know, is competition going to lead to more bloodbath as far as the sector is concerned?
You know, the important point is they have always maintained that they will be operating on routes where most of the major operators in India are not operating at the point. At this moment, they're going to operate in South Indian routes, and their operations will ensure that they achieve lower costs than most of the Indian operators, if not all the Indian operators achieve today. So we'll have to wait and see how do they achieve that, because none of the Indian operators, probably Indigo, are the best who have achieved those lowest costs. So we'll have to really, I don't see how they will achieve that, how they're going to achieve that, because they've the Indian level of costs in India are such that many of them can't. There are taxes and things which can't, and costs of fuel costs and so on. They're uncontrolled costs as far as the operators are concerned. So how AirAsia India are going to lower those costs, or get over those high costs, and achieve lower unit costs is something which you've got to yet find out how they achieve those lower costs, and we'll have to wait and see that.